Hello everybody and welcome here to the CyberGamer TV studio. Myself, Tobi Wan, going to be bringing you all your action for this evening. GosuCup is what we're here for. It is the semi-final. Browning Potatoes going up against GGnet, the GosuGamer's own team, purchased only a couple of months ago. And of course they are looking very, very sharp of late, having very good success in the latest tournaments. But Browning Potatoes not so informed, so definitely the underdogs for this game. And for you guys right now, I don't think we have everybody in the game just yet. But luckily, we have ourselves a draft. So, guys, hit yourselves back. This is the time when we literally just go, okay, how will this story unfold? Obviously, it'll have a beginning, a middle, and an end. That is during the stage of the banning picking phase. And, yes, I will be taking you through that. In case you're worried, I am here for you. Unfortunately, Slash is not here with me this evening. For all those Slash fanboys out there, sorry, I've seen the fan art of Slash. He's just there sleeping with Kelly Milkies, and for some reason, they're drawn on a bed in an artistic fashion. Slightly concerning that picture, yet still something I would pay to see. Anyway, let's have a look at what we actually came here for. Ducky will be our captain. That's right. If you guys don't know him, he is Ducky. I'm not saying he's a ducky. He's actually a really, really cool bloke. A very, very big comedian as well. He is our captain of Browning Potatoes. His name, obviously, clan name is not what it is actually written there. It is, in fact, Browning Potatoes. Joining him in the captain seat, on the opposition team, though, is a puppy. He will be the one doing the drafting and bands, picks, and all that kind of jazz for GGnet. So far in the bands, though, we've seen Invoker, ES, Ancient Apparition, and Weaver taken out. So those are three big heroes, which are basically perma bans these days. ES has made his way into the banning pool a hell of a lot, just because he is a great supporter, great lane controller. Why he appears in the front three all the time, and that is a question which I asked for the forums on GosuGamers, but luckily, I'm pretty sure somebody will actually answer me. Invoker, though, Ancient Apparition, and Weaver, we already know how strong they are. If you don't know how strong they are, if you haven't been checking out the replays from the latest Chinese comp, the World CyberGamer Side event, then you probably should. There's a couple of matches from that which... Severe Rapage, I think, was definitely the one. So if you actually caught them at the grand final from iCity as well, where Scythe went up against CCM, and we saw Ancient Apparition as well as Invoker played exactly the way they're meant to be played, and it was dominating. They have been taken out from this one, though. Batrider as well as Visage also making it to the ban pool. Batrider, great initiator. Visage, great support nuker. Seen him in a lot of the tri lanes playing as support, not playing as carry. He has switched in and out of those roles over the last couple of months of Dota. He will not be appearing in this one. Clockwork Goblin, a hero which does get banned every now and then. He's in the same pool as Batrider kind of for his initiation. Obviously with his ultimate, which can latch on like anything and just basically hold on, power cog, make sure they stick around, and then make sure they're stuns as well, just so they don't know really what hit them. And then, of course, what I really love from Clockwork Goblin, it's always interesting to actually try and watch it too, is the map control you get just from firing off a rocket. Now, I'm not talking about just damaging the creep wave, I'm talking about map vision as well. Flying it over the top of the runes, checking where they go at the early start of the game as well. Obviously, in the drafting phase, you already have some form of idea of what lanes people will be going to, because... guys, we play Dota, this is what we do each day. So it's like, now Clockwork Goblin, what lane will he go into? But it is just one of those things. You fire out a rocket early on in the piece, and you'll see what lanes people are going to. If all five of them are moving out early on, you'll see that as well, unless they're using Smoke of Deceit, an item which will be interesting to see how it's used in this matchup as well. Smoke of Deceit, well, if you read a lot of interviews out there is the word I'm looking for. A lot of interviews out there at the moment. Some people are basically classing Smoke of Deceit as a little bit too overpowered. The ability to move straight past wards kind of removes the basic need for wards if you're using Smoke of Deceit to initiate a team fight. And most of the time, basically the only counter to a smoke being basically a team of 5 moving in smoke is to have your own team of 5 in smoke as well. It's the only easy counter early on in the piece. GGnet Puppy has peaked up a Morphling as well as a Windrunner now. So there's your Agi carry, as well as, a possible solo. Clockwork Goblin is already, obviously, an easy solo to actually run in for the Sentinel side. How they're going to run the rest of the lanes, we will find out over time. At this point, I'd also like to do a massive amount of pimpage. This is to go... That's right, we're going to get through this. GosuGamers.net. I'm not talking about the team, I'm actually talking about the website itself. Thanks, boys. We're embedded up there, and thank you for running this great competition. It's been a very long time. We've cast a lot of matches, and we're finally here at the semi-finals. Of course, that is why I'm awake. This is the semi-finals action, guys. It is, in fact, almost 4 a.m. in the morning here, and it's exactly the reason why I wake up. The GosuCup has been going for a very, very long time. There's a lot of matches cast up as well. You can check them out if you've missed the VODs on the CyberGamer Network YouTube channel. It is all available for you up there. And last of all, I'd like to give a massive, massive shout out to all the guys who made it to cybergamertv.com/TV, which is the live streaming channel, and is there in the channel actually talking. That's right, I'm talking to you, Snell Active. You never ever leave. Morphist is actually there. Vigorox is also a regular to the channel as well. So it's great to have all those guys in that channel. Hopefully you boys love your couple of seconds of E-fame. That's what it's all about. It's like, oh, I was mentioned. Let's have a look back in towards the drafting pool. And we have a Lich and Vengeful Spirit coming up from Ducky. Now, he's picked up 2 support heroes straight off the cuff, so what we'll expect from him is 2 mid-late game carries coming up in the last pick. That does give Puppy a bit of an opening to actually ban out. On the downside for Puppy, he knew he had to pick up a support hero, grabbed up the Crystal Maiden. Good choice, especially when you got Morphling up there. He's going to love all that extra mana. But what I wanted to actually really point out is the fact that with Lich and VS already taken, CM's in the lineup, Ducky might just try and remove a couple more support heroes and basically just force Puppy to take a support hero he might not want. So if you ban out Witch Doctor, you might have to go Tidehunter, which is not exactly how he wanted to play his fighting style. And you look at his lineup right now, and you're looking, it can go either way. Morphling, obviously, with that big damage spray straight across one line, being his waveform. You can keep a lot of damage up from that one. Windrunner is actually pretty similar as well, when you actually have your power shot, your shackle shot, and then your individual focus fire. Of course, Morphling will have the same thing if he gets to his Ethereal Blade. And then Crystal Maiden just provides everything else they possibly want. Lion coming into the lineup too now. I'm predicting more than likely Ducky will probably ban out SF, expecting him to go solo middle. And then have one more support hero to actually join them up there on the top lane. Pugna did come out as a ban for Puppy as well, wanting to make sure that he removes all that pushing ability. Interesting to see him actually banning out Pugna. He doesn't really have any idea where Ducky is going to go with this. Obviously, they've got a very, very good ganking lineup. You got the nuke from Lich early on in the piece, especially if you get that bouncing Nova, if it gets up to level 6 at a decent rate. Vengeful Spirits there, Magic Missile, first level stun, and then the Raw to drop the armor as well. You've got to also deal with the fact you've got plus armor. Lich will definitely add that to the rest of the crew. Doombringer and Spectre being the last 2 actually being removed out of the lineup. Ducky did take out Lion before that, and Shadow Fiend, Ducky picks it up instantly. Ducky obviously just playing on the fact that he had the first pick after the bans. So has taken that one very, very nicely. As opposed to who's going to go up against him in the middle lane. That'll be why Lion was actually taken out. Lion has been very well known to actually be the best counter to SF in the mid lane. An aggressive Lion, that is. You've got to really keep on top of him. And then Rune Control, left, right, and centre. SF should have a lot of support, though, especially if Vengeful Spirit decides to try and gank off that lane. Lich would be quite happy to stay in a lane by himself. Same with Clockwork Goblin. They're both capable of actually soloing lanes, which would allow Vengeful Spirit to roam himself around a little bit more. More than likely, we will see a bit more of a tri-lane that will come out, which is what we always see from DOTA these days. Unless we see something different. Who knows? Who knows? This is the semi-final of the GosuCup. Anything is possible. So now Puppy is in the hot seat. He's only got 33 seconds left to actually go for what he wishes to actually pick up. And, did I mention Tidehunter? I mentioned Tidehunter. Has actually picked up Tidehunter. So is going to go for the AoE, Son of the Ravage. Does have the splash on top. Tidehunter, one of those heroes that if he does get a good start, if he is, well, I just hate it when I see a hero who becomes useless later on in the game. If Tidehunter can't get himself in position, obviously the Ravage is always useful. But once you pop that, and you pop your splash, what else have you got? What else are you going to contribute to the team? You have someone like Witch Doctor, you get yourself a bouncing stun, he's got a restoration installed inside him as well. You got your ultimate, which only targets heroes. It works beautifully. He is a fantastic hero to actually play with. Tidehunter, on the other hand, has Splash and Ravage. And Ravage has a massive cooldown. I think it's like 300 seconds at level 1 on the cooldown. So it's not an amazing ability to always be there for him. It's all about the timing. And even then Enigma, who I was always a little bit iffy about him being picked up there. Enigma does have that black hole, and a lot of it does come to that timing, but he can push with his conversions. He has his mini stun on top of it as well as his AoE damage. There's a lot of things which actually do make that hero a lot more multitasking, where Tidehunter does find himself pinned in a corner if he doesn't get a good start. How GGnet will actually use him, we will definitely find out. So No, nothing against Tidehunter, not beating down him. You're fine, Tidehunter, don't worry. And that answers our try lane. Alchemist comes up. The stayability for the team will definitely be laned with Lich as well. Alchemist does actually have low armor early on in the piece. That's why Lich does like to be laned with Alchemist. And Vengeful Spirit will be there to help with the ganking, which does leave us with a solo SF in mid. Clockwork Goblin will be going our other solo as well. Alchemist more than likely be soloing up the bottom lane with a try lane. Where we'll see Clockwork Goblin go out towards the top lane, just use the rockets to farm whatever he possibly can. Try to stay as close as he can to that creep wave as well. As far as Poppy actually goes now too, we've got ourselves Tidehunter and CM. There's your roaming combination, or tri-lane combination, Morphling as well as Windrunner. And they're going to be combining with Storm Spirit now, so let's see how we actually go for our lanes. More than likely, will we see a Storm Spirit, Windrunner or Morphling go solo? Who's going to be babysitting the tri-lane? A question that GGnet will answer for us. Making sure we're all in here. Good luck, have fun. We are actually all ready to go, so there is nothing more. Baby Knight will be playing as your SF for this evening, boys and girls. For everyone out there who is just like, you know what, Baby Knight is my god. He is my sexy beast. And wow, would you believe it? Already, Smoker to see us up. All 5 of them just searching for it. Ducky will be playing as a Lich. We have Sony playing as our Alchemist. Cut and Paste is our Clockwork Goblin. And Miguel, our very, 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 very well-known support hero, playing as our hero. Yeah, he's a hero in his own mind. Player playing as support. Let's have a look towards the GGnet side. We've got Puppy going as Tidehunter towards the top lane. Kurukai will be playing as a Morphling and will be babysat by Miracle. They're going to be looking for that gank up there on the top. Paj playing as Storm Spirit. Got to be careful. They're going to go for the stun. Alchemist already charging off. Paj is not going to escape from this one. This will be easy first blood. Sony AS did actually take the last hit there with the Alchemist stun. But that gives us our first blood for the game. For the Sentinel side. So, save game actually coming out from the players. I'm not quite sure if our admin is actually streaming. We'll actually just ask him the question, just in case things are going bad. Alright, so we are rolling ourselves back up again. So first blood already going through to the wars of Browning Potatoes boys. The guys who are considered as the underdogs for this tournament, but the winner of this will go through to face off against the Ukrainian Might. I think they should actually rename themselves the Ukrainian Might now. They have actually no official... Well, actually do have an official team name. Yeah, smooth. As, I am your official saver for tonight, guys. So, yeah, this could be interesting. All right, so we should be okay. Lich grabs off the illusionary room. So I'm just seeing a couple of people are saying this stream is actually currently lagging. So for everyone out there on the live stream, I'm just going to drop it down for a second and put it back up again at a lower bit rate. But everyone on the VODs, don't worry, you're not going to have too much trouble. Apart from the fact that I might stop speaking for a second, if that was possible, but no, it's not. It's never possible for me to stop speaking, but we have restarted the stream on the lower bitrate, and hopefully that will make everything a little bit nicer for everybody out there. So as far as our lanes actually go, Baby Knight will be going up against Storm Spirit in the middle lane. It was to be expected. Puppy Tidehunter being in the middle lane, not so as expected. Morphling, Cut and Paste, going up against Kurukai up there on the top lane. So Morphling versus Clockwork Goblin. Clockwork Goblin obviously will have a little bit harder to time, especially with CM coming from the side. Frost Nova goes off. Morphling will have a wave if he wants to go for it, but no, he's going to be quite happy to harass him back and let Miracle do the rest of harassment, and Kurukai will go back to his old farming style. Vengeful Spirit, Miguel, hanging around the middle lane. Looking for that support to get a kill here on Paj. He's already died one time. Not exactly what he wanted, but not massively crucial against him. Obviously, in those early stages of the game, you already spend all of your money, so you lose nothing yourself. The only thing you actually give is XP as well as the extra 200 gold to everybody else. Good work here by Paj, just trying to get those last hits in wherever he possibly can. Damaging up Baby Knight, who's quite happy to tank it. We'll be having a bottle running up pretty soon. Have a healing salve already on top of him. So in case things get a little bit dire, he'll have that up his sleeve. But, Storm Spirit and Paj, just to be interested to see this bit of a CS battle going off. Tidehunter wanting to come in towards the mid. The rune he was hoping to spawn for him did not spawn for him. It's actually down in the bottom lane, so Illusion Rune is our second one. And Region 1 being Illusion as well. It was taken by Lich down the bottom lane, who is Ducky now going for his pull. Really pulling down that center a long, long way. Knew he pulled us a little bit too early. That's going to lose the vision too, or maybe not. Manages to block in one of his trainers. That'll be enough for him to actually get a little bit of farm. Asin on the bottom lane. He's going to go up against Alchemist. Lich instantly coming in from the side. Wants to push this Windrunner back. Frost instantly going up. So Lich doing the same job as CM's doing on the top lane. CM harassing Clockwork Goblin back, and Lich harassing on that bottom lane. Tidehunter's Illusions going for a bit of a roam around. Kurokai still trying to farm that top lane. Level 4 Kurokai versus a level 2 Clockwork Goblin. Caused by the fact he had to fall himself back after that harassment that came in from the Crystal Maiden. Lich still wanting to go on bottom lane. There goes the Frost. Just harassing Asin back again. Asin still not getting up high. Big problem at the moment is the fact that Alchemist is farming up a hell of a lot. And his farm's actually worth a hell of a lot more. Obviously that little level 1 Goblin's Greed you see on top of him right now. Extra Moolah in the kitty. Gives him those items sooner. Makes him even more unstoppable later on in the game. And we know he gets unstoppable. So many games of recent times we've seen where Morphling does get completely unstoppable. Cut and paste. Now getting locked in a Frost Cone. Will Kurokai go for it? Oh, Courier comes up. Interesting time to do it. Puppey did get the splash off. And there goes Kurokai waving over the top. 1 kill for him. Levels it up for GGnet. Giving the kills to Kurokai as well, if anyone's going to stop him, as we see Windrunner now just instantly just popping up that Windrun. That is her own ability to try and get herself out. Unfortunately for her, Healing Salve did actually go off, but that attack from Ducky did follow it up too, so no full health there for the Windrunner. Forced to sit down the bottom tier 1 tower to try and survive. Up towards the top lane, Kurokai pushing out nicely. I just watch the mid lane to see if it's going to be a little bit more aggressive. Puppey just trying to gain a couple of levels while being in the middle lane. Can't deal enough damage, so a little bit hard to get those last hits when the tower is also attacking. Kurokai still up here on the top lane, waves himself down, wants to harass Clockwork Goblin back even further. See him also back past the tower. Wagon is helping them actually heap pressure on this tower, but it won't be enough to actually bring it down. More pressure being applied to SF there in the middle lane with Storm Spirit on the back of a Haste Rune. He's popped off the salve. Doesn't want to get hit at the moment, or else he will lose that regen. Almost top lane gone. Kurokai, he's got enough for one more wave, thinking about going for it. Cut and paste, in comes the wave. Good lock on with the Frost Cone. Clockwork Goblin still trying to fall himself back here. Magic Wand charges, they need a little bit more of a hit, but not enough there. But GGnet should actually claim out this tier 1 tower on the top lane. 58 HP. They need a creep wave to do so. They might be able to attack it, but the regen might actually kick him in. 1 hit, 2 hit. The regen is almost kicking in, but not actually kicking in time. So Kurokai does get the tower on the top lane. It's like a Vengeful Spirit and Baby Knight also teaming up on that middle lane. Splash comes in from Tidehunter, just forcing Baby Knight just to think twice about moving up a little bit further. But once again, we do actually have Storm Spirit on the sidelines. No regen on tier 1 towers. Thanks, Wilco. Wilco's obviously listening in. What's this no regen? I want regen on tier 1 towers. Make it happen. Make it so. That's right. I'm now going to call Ice Roll Kirk. Great to have you here, Wilco. Great to have you here. All right, so Morphling still going up. I'm actually still getting a couple of complaints about the lag, so I will check that out in just a moment. In fact, this moment is now, so while we are still going on this one, hopefully... obviously, you can't do it on that one, so well, I was hoping to actually do. Windrunner, Splash goes on bottom lane, will be a Shackle. Asin wants to keep the pressure up, not enough to do so. Alchemist now turning himself up towards that lane. And level 6 Alchemist will be more than enough to make Windrunner think twice about going in. Especially once Puppey has already popped off his splash. Pushing him back, actually Scourge getting a kill on cut and paste up there on the top lane, so being denied from CM and Morphling. Kurokai's not going to be happy with that one, but the gold is shared for everybody. Windrunner and Tidehunter, really hard for them to actually do anything on that bottom lane. Once they push past the river, it's very, very dangerous for them to stay there. In fact, Tidehunter doesn't even care. He's going to head off towards the middle lane. It's like bottom lane. Doesn't bother me whatsoever. Miguel with a ward, just keeping eyes. Storm Spirit pulling in. Baby Knight. Splash will come from the side too. Baby Knight should die from this point too. Did manage to pop off one race before he went down. But Miracle actually getting the last hit from that one. So kill goes to Crystal Maiden. Not exactly what they wanted. Would have been a lot better actually having on the back of the Storm Spirit, but they'll take what they can get. Cut and paste coming back up towards the top lane. Pretty sure he can tank Kurukai close range, wave over the top, just pushing him back even further. Kurukai, as you saw him, not actually harassing cut and paste, just damaging down the creep wave so he can actually wave himself over and do the rest of the damage. With Perseverance already up on top of him and still 1100 gold in the bank. Well on his way to a Lincoln Sphere. TP coming towards the middle. Baby Knight does rejoin that now. Paj making the most of the spare time. Lich and Alchemist looks like they're being pushed back a little bit on the bottom lane. I say push back, they're falling back themselves back towards the tower. Forcing Windrunner once again to come in towards enemy territory on the Sentinel side of the river. Baby Knight for the front rows. CM as well as Tidehunter ready to actually pounce on this mid lane. Storm Spirit holding over the top here. They want to get Miguel first, bring down the support hero. Hasn't managed to get a stun off just yet. Storm Spirit does finish him off. Splash on top of Baby Knight. They might not push it through. One Razor just pushing Paj back a little bit further. Doesn't have a lot of mana on top of him. Now they're going to go. Baby Knight managed to actually finally get the Razor on CM. Coming in a little bit too close there. Splash over the top. Harassing Baby Knight back a little bit further. SF, definitely a power to be reckoned with. So support hero for support hero was the trade in the middle lane. Kurukai still doing what he loves to do best. That's free farm. Has an instant escape too from his wave, and he actually waves himself down. Right inside Vengeful Spirit. He'll be careful not hit by the tower. Now locked inside the cogs too. Kurukai decides to turn and fight for a little bit there. Not enough mana for another wave. He is going to have to try and retrieve himself out. TP's already coming towards the top lane. Another magic missile. Kurukai has strength morphed himself completely right now. 1,500 HP points. It'll be very hard to actually kill him off. And Clockwork Goblin continues to harass down. Support is here. CM is here. Frost goes. Miguel should actually take a fall. Even though they do claim Kurukai off right now. We'll push cut and paste back a little bit further right now. And that is where he will end up. Kurukai living as long as he possibly can. Strength morphing himself in there just to get a lot more HP points to try and survive whatever he could. Wasn't enough in the end. Support from CM was almost fast enough. Mid lane just being pressured ever so slightly here by Baby Knight. Lich armor on top of him as well. Only level 1 armor, so 4 plus 4.3. Not a massive amount. Tidehunter still trying to stay on the front lines as well, getting whatever farm he can up. Wards is where he's going to sit most of his time. And we do actually see the rune being picked up too, so Invis rune for Shadow Fiend, level 9 is showing up as Yafets, but it's actually Baby Knight. Going to look for an opening. Will not actually reveal himself until he actually pops off that ulti, if he does pop it off. So he's just hoping for one hero to come in a little bit closer. Kurukai forced a little bit further back there by the tower. Cut and paste, getting damaged there by the creep wave. Got to be careful, Kurukai. He does have a tendency to be rather suicidal and will be quite happy to actually dive cut and paste. There is a ward there from Miracle, watching on that top lane as well. SF didn't get the opening he wanted to with that Invis rune, so would just be forced to join in the fight and attack. Invis now wears off. The thoughts of going towards top lane. Tidehunter's definitely had them. He's heading down towards Kurukai. Kurukai waving himself over. He's going to try and deny the most his creep wave. Does so successfully as well. Back with a more stable morph. As I say more stable, as in he's more balanced across it. 43 and 35. So still a little bit more stacked in towards Agi. Which is what you expect. You don't really want to see a morphling at this stage of the game going below 800 HP points, or else he will be way too squishy. We're going to push out this top tower. Smoker Deceit now pops off. They're going to head themselves in towards the middle lane. And looks like they're going to try and gank here on SF. Who's now pushing up towards the tower. Paj just trying to slow down the wave. Still moving around. Haven't caught anybody out just yet. Lich and SF decide to fall themselves back just a little bit further. Back past the tower. SF still on the wrong side. They're going to pull him in and already nailed. And Lich also on the way back there. Baby Knight. Amazing how fast he just killed down Paj. Morphling waves over the top. Lich only bouncing around. It's only bouncing inside the creep wave right now. CM cops a blast. Then Tidehunter off the edge of it. Tidehunter goes down. So Puppy takes a fall. CM getting caught in the power cogs as well. Baby Knight picks up a double kill with support there from Ducky bringing down Puppy. So 3 down for the Scourge. 7 for 5 in the tier 1 tower will now be pressured. Baby Knight getting very, very strong. Double kill to help him on his way. 1,400 gold in the kitty. Strength Chest, Wraith Band, Bottle. We can pick up the regen rune in the bottle lane as well, considering he doesn't really need to use it just yet. Kurokai still pushing out this top lane. Glimph has now just popped off. Try and buy them some time. Roccat flies down as well. Kurokai looks like he hasn't actually morphed any more into Agi. Just took a lot of damage from that Roccat, which must be up to level 4 by now. Ducky gets the last hit in the tower. Paz gets himself a little bit of a frost nuke there by Lich. Can't really call it a nuke. A little bit of a tickle on the balls. Obviously, that would cause some major shrinkage. SF, mid lane. Looking to see that Blink Dagger coming up. He's so damn close to it as well. If he decides to go that way. Kurokai still farming up that top lane. I'm hoping there's a courier or something that's currently carrying an ultimate orb. Because Kurokai at the moment, Perseverance is the only thing he's got. Would have expected more from him. Trez and Perseverance, 13 minutes into the game. He's had a lot of farm up there on the top lane. Let's check out the CS scores. That's one thing we haven't had a look at. Sony Ace, 81 for 18 on top of an Alchemist on the bottom lane. Already with Radiance. No, what? You serious? Kidding me? Okay, fair enough. Sony Ace in 13 minutes has managed to farm up a Radiance. I haven't even been looking at him, and already he's managed to actually get himself a Radiance. That is completely insane for a 13-minute point of the game. Has got nothing else, no boost, no nothing. Shackle goes off. Manages to just miss Sony Ace. Splash goes down. They want to try and kill him off a little bit more. Radiance has turned on. He's had it off in case Morphling was down there. They do manage to actually bring him down. Azen putting off the last little bit of a hit for Morphling. So SF now TP's down towards the bottom lane. Vengeful Spirit is there. Power shot over the top. Rage is just fishing around in the corners. Clockwork Goblin still having a go there at Morphling. Back down towards the bottom. Windrunner, Headdress on the way to a mech. Lich, VS, SF, waiting for the right time to pounce. Baby Knight has actually bought up something. VS now goes for the swap. Asen's going to be the target. Very, very squishy early on in the piece. Titan is there as well. Big Ravage goes off. Should be enough to bring down CM, but the Lich ult is going to bounce up. It's going to go straight between CM as well as Titan at the back behind the tower. But big race there from Baby Knight. Manages to get the kill on Titan as he tried to dive back past the tower. Wants to make it a triple. One raise, getting Frost Cone. TP support is coming in. Frost goes off as well. Shadow Fiend is on the run. TP goes out from CM. Will Miracle get himself away? Yes, he does. Ultimate coming out there from Storm Spirit, trying to catch down Shadow Fiend. Already too late. Shadow Fiend is on the run. Over he pops again, riding over the top of Baby Knight, trying to stick hit from the high ground. Baby Knight faking off the Razor. Paj comes back again. Baby Knight on Paj, just a mid-solo on mid-solo. Way too much burst damage for Storm Spirit to handle. And Shadow Fiend will come out on top of that battle. Doesn't actually get the kill, but does come out on top. 9-7 is currently where we're sitting. Can't believe how fast Alchemist has that Radiance. Slightly insane. Morphling still with Perseverance. So before we got interrupted by the fact I noticed Alchemist has so much money and then that kill on the bottom. Morphling, what have you got in the top lane? 84 for 13. So as far as like the top and bottom solo counterparts go, 93 to 18 against 88 for 13. Not too bad. 60 for 11 going up against Shadow Fiend. Baby Knight 73 for 9. Yeah, wow. It just looks like GGnet are getting out-farmed right now. And slightly outganked. Obviously, they're 9-7 right now. Baby Knight, just some amazing work as an SF, and now heads up towards the top lane. I think he's had enough of Kurokai getting free farm. Shadow Fiend looks like he's on his way to building up a BKB. So his more just want that stability to move himself in there. No stun will stop him. Hex will, stun won't, swap will. Luckily, Vengeful Spirit is on his own team. Kurokai being forced back a little bit further. Replicates up the big, powerful Shadow Fiend. Using both of them. Razors pop off. Kurokai forced to actually wave himself up to safety. Replicate will still take a lot of that damage. Using both of them to try and keep harassment on. In comes Storm Spirit pulling in Baby Knight. Will he actually have time to pop off his ult? He's going to try it. He does. Oh no! There's a stun just in time. Morphling, the adaptive strike, managed just to push Baby Knight out of position. Couldn't get it off. There's no BKB for him just yet. And that's 9-8. And that will put his BKB back another couple of minutes. And also let them claim the top tower. Page gets the last hit for that tower too. Some more money on the back of him. Bottom lane looks like it's having a go. Clockwork Goblin holding Windrunner in place right now. Fighting on top of the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. Alchemist pushing through. Radiance Burn going to kill off Windrunner if he keeps on pressuring on. Magic Missile on top of Tidehunter as well. Roccat from Clockwork Goblin is the last hit there for Azen. As our Alchemist tries to TP himself out. Does so successfully as well. Puppy just sitting there on the front side. Nothing more he can do. That's what I was talking about before. You pop off your Ravage. You pop off your Splash. All you can do is just sit there and try and tank when you can. Lich using Smoke of Deceit to actually get him to escape off. Clockwork Goblin's Roccat flying in towards that top lane by the looks of it. Just to keep tabs there on Kurokai. In fact, actually getting them on the fallback. Not even wanting to get them on the main attack. Alchemist. Interesting to see he's got his Radiance turned on right now. It's a dangerous thing. Morphling can actually replicate that Alchemist and use his Radiance against him. That's why we do have the on-off feature on the Radiance. So we saw it being off on that bottom lane before when around the 13-minute mark. When we saw the Alchemist actually getting ganked against a 3-hero gankage. Windrunner, 400 gold away as looks like a power shot helping earlier, getting a little bit closer on that one from completing that mechanism. Definitely going to be needed, especially considering how much power they're going up against, how much tankability. Kurokai actually managed to get a kill on there on the top lane. Apologies, I missed that one. Alchemist going down. Again, another gank going between Kurokai as well as Storm Spirit. Kurokai with that Lincoln Sphere completed now, 18 minutes into the game. Like to see that Ethereal Blade up as fast as he possibly can as well. Got to make sure he tries to keep that Alchemist down. Alchemist, even though he does have his Radiance, that is a pure offensive item. He doesn't have any real say ability. So Alchemist needs to actually get even more items on defensive. That's why we've seen him being ganked a couple of times. BKB is completed though in SF. So as far as ability to hold their own in fights, Baby Knight definitely doing it there for the BP team. I'm not talking about a fuel company, I'm talking about the browning potatoes. Glymph going off on the mid lane once again. Early off Glymph, just trying to protect their towers in the fronts. How much damage can they actually do? Lich now coming up, Vengeful Spirit. Everyone has a bit of armor for them. Vengeful Spirit managed to swap him, but obviously swapping in the one hero who can actually get himself out in a very, very fast amount of time. And that is Storm Spirit through his ultimate. Back to Kurokai, still in there on the top lane. Waved himself down. Will we see that replicate once again? Alchemist has managed to actually get himself treads on strength. That's all he's really got. 1100 HP. Not massive on the armor. There's that 2 plus 3.4 armor. Very, very low. So he's always susceptible to that gank. If Kurokai gets even stronger, it's going to be even worse for him. Storm Spirit having fun in the bottom lane. Ogre-Axe on top of him wants to look for his BKB as well. Does not want to get shut down in case those moments do actually happen. Like we saw in the middle lane just before as well.
Players' forces are under attack.
So back up towards the top, Kurokai. He has actually replicated up that Alchemist. Copies off that Radiance damage. It's a big problem. Turn it off unless you actually need it for the push. You got to, or else Kurokai is going to use that against you. Burning off both waves. In fact, just pulling the wave with the burn as well. Makes it a lot easier for Kurokai on the side. Alchemist just getting waved over the top by Kurokai. It's like bottom lane, something's about to erupt in just a moment. Lich coming up towards that top lane as well. Windrunner, there goes a splash. Clockwork Golem being forced back here. VS swapping him back close towards the tier 1 tower. 4 heroes now for GGnet in the bottom lane. Roccat hits all of them. Frost goes off. They want the tier 1 tower. Baby Knight has joined that bottom lane as well. 3 heroes ready for BP. Ready to strike in that bottom lane. 11 to 9 at the moment. Top lane getting ganked off here. Morphling wave himself out there. Stun from Alchemist. Chemical Rage is going to get that one off too. Big, long stun on top of Kurokai. Lich coming up. Crow drops in. Puppy actually going down the bottom lane as Kurokai. I want to stick with him until he actually dies. No, he's going to strengthen himself up there and get that one off. While Baby Knight gets a double kill on the bottom lane. Storm Spirit as well as Windrunner. Forced to fall back here. Clockwork Goblin looks like he's popped the cogs and is also very suffering greatly from the amount of damage he actually took. Morphling on 2 HP on the top lane. Majestic Charge will keep him alive, but that is no way for a Morphling to live. Everything is actually morphed into Agi right now. Everything. 102 plus 26. Baby Knight TPing in towards the middle lane, looking for a little bit more farm. Alchemist being replicated once again by Kurukai, using the Alchemist as his strength over the top. Then he's the damage from the rest of it. Stolen Spirit waiting for someone to actually be on this bottom lane. Tidehunter being so desperate for kills, actually using Medallion of Courage as well as Splash to get the last hits. Lich is coming towards the top lane now, so Kurukai might be in a little bit of trouble as he's just moving himself around. Maybe. Alchemist will actually fall back. Kurukai still has a lot of damage, morphed himself back into a little bit more of a balanced state, so his strength keeps him just above 1100 HP. Replicate still doing a lot of damage on the burn. That burn is enough for Kurukai just to wave himself over and actually get every last hit on that wave. Courier comes in. Oh, Courier, glad you freaking shielded. Yasha managed to fly in on top of Morphling just then. Thinking Alchemist could have had a moment to kill the Yasha. Could have been a critical time. Shadow Fiend now up to 2200. Hasn't brought up BKB. Courier is flying back though. 2 Vitality boosters on. Interesting to see who actually owns that one. And once again, Sony Ace getting killed up there on the top lane. So Alchemist. And that's the 3rd time we've actually seen him die on the top lane. Definite 2, possible 3rd. As far as item build actually goes for Alchemist, Ring of Health still has no extra armor. So he's got regen of his life, but he still has no stability inside the battles. Really relies on the Lich armor to actually get him up there to actually keep him in the battles. Interesting to see Kurukai now, 156 for 13. Yasha and Lincoln's, 3 kills, 1 death, 2 assists. Baby Knight's going to be his biggest one. Baby Knight already sitting at 8 for 2 with 2. So 2 deaths, 2 assists, 8 kills. CS score's looking pretty good from him as well as Puppy and Paj just sitting in there in the trees waiting for the initiation time. And this might be it. Clockwork Goblin is there. It's a trap at the moment. Storm Spirit goes in the top. Yapitz picks up the BKB, lets the Oldie rip, and Paj takes a lot of damage. Via sorting back in again, and instantly Storm Spirit Oldies himself back out of the mix here. Kurukai already done a lot of damage. Aslan's one actually got the kill there. SF, Morphling waves over the top. Baby Knight wants to bring him down, and Aslan actually gets the double kill. Storm Spirit Page comes back in again. They claim 1, they claim 2, they claim 3, at the loss of 1 of their own, 2 of their own now. Alchemist was trying to hold it on there. CM drops the ulti from Miracle, really slowing down Sony Ace, and now Kurukai wave, and 1 kill. Killing spree for Kurukai, but the big one there from Aslan. Double kill, mech popped off at the right time to keep that health up as well as the extra armor. The Replicate using Alchemist's strength against him. Burning off every bit of that creep wave. They'll continue to attack the tier 3 tower, keep the pressure on. And if they can, they'll get themselves a Rax. Should be no reason until another 28 seconds before the Sentinel are back at full strength. Rocket from Clockwork Goblin. Try and slow them down. Morphling forced to fall back a little bit further, but they're just trying to bait out the Clockwork Goblin who pops off the cog. CM already goes down. Lich Oldie did bounce out there from Ducky. That will force Morphling to wave himself out of there. When she does so, and they will fall themselves back after taking out the tier 3 tower. Actually, is Kurukai out of the woods just yet? In fact, he's going to go straight through the woods. Blink. Baby Knight. Strength more. 117 points into strength. Kurukai wishes to live and will be allowed his wish. Straight back now, Baby Knight in towards the mix. 16 to 14, such a close game right now. Not able to get a Rax, GGnet. They won the battle, but no Rax. That's the big important thing for them. Or a big important thing that they missed out on. Raxes make all the difference. Tidehunter splooshes himself down, managed to actually buy himself a belt of giant strength. Kurukai rejoined the mid lane. Gone for Sanjay. Yasha has completely ignored going conventional build for Morphling, has decided S and Y is going to be where he wants to live. Ethereal Blade. No, I don't need you. Don't care how strong I am. Alchemist and Lich. Now they've managed to find him. Kurukai does get stunned. SF comes in. Razor, and Kurukai does go down. Miguel claiming the last hit for that one, so Vengeful Spirit hits the last.
A player's forces are under attack.
Bottom lane tower should now go down. Partial even waiting to attack the tower. TP support is going to come down. Glyph has already popped off a while ago. And oh, baby Knight! What a deny! Shackle on top though, he will sacrifice his own life to get that one. BKB, Oldie pops off, he wants to do enough, and great timing there by Paj to hold himself straight over the top, gets himself out of range of that Oldie, stuck around long enough to do as much damage as he could, then out a little bit further, because obviously as the closer you are, the more damage you actually take with that SF ulti, and that was enough. TP up towards the top lane. Alchemist, they're all the way over, and Lich is in a lot of trouble. Medallion of Courage doing so much on top of him, dropping the armor down. See him trying to retrieve himself out here. Sony's on the back here, and Miguel gets the last hit. Azen's already claimed himself a double. Tidehunter forced to fall back. Azen trying to do what he possibly can right now. Cut and paste managed to pick up 2 as well. 4-staffing, Tidehunter out of trouble. Windrunner can do it her own fashion way with her Windrunner step. A Clockwork Goblin actually claimed that double kill on the bottom lane. Other kills on the top. Puppy forced to actually pull the creep wave down. Not quite sure about this, but Morphling has come in. They're going to go for Alchemist. Stun flies over the top. Azen's the one stun. Splash goes over the top. Akurakai has enough burst damage. Managed to bring down Sony Ace, who still has no items to keep himself alive longer. Actually, I just take that back. He has a Vanguard. That's not really going to help with the amount of damage the Kurukai is pumping out currently, though. Keeping his HP points about the 1200 mark now. 1100. He was 1100 before, now splooshing to 1200. A lot of money in the kitty. Tidehunter still no Blink Dagger up. How are we going for Storm Spirit? Has he completed his BKB? I see items there. Can't click it on due to the freaking glitch in the thing. Paj not picking him up, just leaving him there. TP himself out towards the mid lane. He's quite happy to farm for the moment. Can do so very, very easily too. Miracle coming down. Ogre Rax on top of her, giving it a little bit more stability. That's really the only reason she'll get it. Won't really have more money than that. She is a support hero. Rocket fires off here from Clockwork Goblin. Just try and check out around the secret shop. Windrunner TP's towards the bottom lane. VS already with a swap. Tidehunter is there. Splash goes off. There isn't going to be enough. Azen force-staffing himself out a little bit of trouble, but still manages to actually die from this one. Puppy will also take a fall. Caught inside the cogs. Storm Spirit comes right over the top. Wants to bring down Miguel first. Really got something against Miguel. SF pops off the ult in the middle of all that one too. So we've lost 2 from the Scourge, 1 from the Sentinel side. Morphling waves himself out of trouble up towards the high ground. SF blinks to follow. Baby Knight really wants Kurukai down. Kurukai still hasn't strength. Morphy wants to actually stick around to fight this one. Replicate now on top of Yafets. I say Yafets, it's freaking Baby Knight. Morphling waves up, just trying to get himself out of range here of the Sentinel side. That battle, that goes to Sentinel. Top lane still pushing in towards that rack, so you gotta be careful, BP. Don't want to lose that. There comes that TP to try and defend it. Baby Knight's there, so no push will go past this tier 2 tower. They'll be happy to claim that, and that's just it. Morphling realizes tier 2 tower is gone. Heads himself back in towards that mid lane to farm up a little bit more. A lot of the hopes here of GGnet rest on the back of Morphling's farm. The ability to get to those tier 3 items and get himself to be unstoppable. So when Baby Knight and Alchemist do initiate, he can drop them down very, very fast. Courier flying out of Blade Mail, and they're completed for Clockwork Goblin as well. Saving gain comes out from Baby Knight, so the players just want to do it themselves. So who cares? That's right, I can save. So now back in towards our middle lane, we see Alchemist. Radiance turning on. He's here to push. So a little bit of a cooldown coming off. It's like, yeah, I had that turned off. I'm sick of getting replicated. It is one thing which I do find is slightly interesting to see Alchemist go for that kind of build. Like a 13-minute Radiance, it was freaking powerful. And yeah, he definitely farmed up a hell of a lot. Got ganked though, didn't really manage to follow himself through on his items. He only got Vanguard at 31 minutes after getting a 13-minute Radiance. Really doesn't help them. Clockwork Goblin running around with Invis watching that Roshan attempt. Don't know if GGnet actually knew that was happening. They obviously, there's going to be a ward up there watching their presence. Ducky's got a ward. That's basically it. But it is actually funny watching Morphling just replicate a 13 minutes Radiance. It's It's like instant power for him. And now we do actually smoke at a seat coming out from the Scourge side. They're going to move themselves inside the Sentinel. Roccat flies over the top. They're going to know where one's going. Big Ravage stun. Slows down Sony Ace. They jump themselves in here. Baby Knight going to let off the ultimate. Lich Ulti also bouncing around. Big damage. AoE damage really bouncing up there from BP. But the initiation already came there from GGnet. They're one up already. Now they get another one. Revived buyback comes from the Alchemist. Morphling waves himself down. Wants to bring down Lich. Medallion of coverage goes on top of Lich. And there is Padge. Double kill comes off from him. Baby Knight does TP himself, blink himself down there. Kurokai trying to fight in the front lines. Can't get himself out in time. Sony S gets one. Sony S gets two. What a buyback. And that will get them back inside this game. Cut and paste. Oh, miracle. It's like I'm trying to get myself out of here. Windrunner's the only person left alive right now. 71 HP. Roccat flies over. Get yourself a double kill, son. And this will now be followed up with Roshan. 27 for 22. That is possibly one of the biggest moments there of this battle. 32 minutes into the game. GGnet lose one big team fight. What an ulti from Baby Knight. What an ulti from Lich as well. The timing couldn't have been better. And wow, 27 for 22. Kill count board. It is still so close. One big battle now given the Aegis the Immortal towards the chemically raged Alchemist. Will they manage to actually survive the push that will come? It will come from BP. GGnet, they've got to be on the ball here. They lost a lot. Both carries dying in the mix as well. So Storm Spirit, Mithril Hammer on top of him. Morphling still has 2,600 gold. Decide not to buy back. We'll have that once again as in TPs towards the bottom. Morphling and Tidehunter go up towards the top. Just want to keep the lanes pushed out. That was one good thing for GGnet. The lanes were very pushed out when they went for their gank. And even though the gank didn't go their way, they still hold control over the lanes. Tier 2 towers being up on the top lane as well as bottom lane. Same position for BP, except it's bottom lane and top and mid lane.
A player's forces are under
So
attack.
it looks like moving out once again. Having a check around. Ducky with the sentry wards there. Does spot Miracle's ward on the high ground. So they'll come in now just deep ward this out. Exposing their entire team. In fact, Baby Knight does something very cheeky and just goes straight towards the top. Playing King of the Castle here to wait for the blink to actually cool down. And now Smoke of Deceit actually pops off while he's up on the high ground. And Magic Missile on top of the Replicate. They thought it was a real Tidehunter. Even Baby Knight decided to actually blink himself down for that. Waiting for the right time to initiate. Rocket's going off towards that mid. Kurokai still managed to actually farm up a little bit more. We're now going to see the Eagle Horn. There's the Eagle Horn. Going to be looking for that Ethereal Blade. He already does a crap load of damage. Why not add it on a little bit further? Can also switch a couple of points from strength now. Even though 1,400 HP points at this time, might even want to hold on to that. Vengeful Spirit heading up towards the top lane.
A player's forces.
Clockwork Goblin, Vanguard, Hood, and Blade. And then throw on to Urn for good luck. Strength Threads. So much farm already towards the Sentinel side. It's all been backed up by levels. It's all been backed up by ganking. The only thing they lack now is a Rax. That's what both teams lack now. GGnet, they try to push through on that top lane, try to claim the racks for themselves before. Didn't work out. They got a tier 3 tower though. That's more than what we're seeing from BP. BP did, however, almost get a team down. Windrunner being the only person to escape on like... Actually, no, that wasn't a team down. As I just now actually managed to recall myself. The Roccat, which did nail off Windrunner in the mid lane. So it was a complete team down. Mid lane looking to push out. Windrunner doing what she can. Support has come in. Morphling and Tidehunter is here. Tidehunter, ulti. Everything is up for all teams right now. So all ultis will be here. Roccat flies off. Wants a bit of a look around. We'll just spot Asin on the side.
A player's forces.
Want to catch the rest of the vision. And ready to push out now. Alchemist runs towards the front side. Splash goes on top of him straight away. Power shot over the top. Tries to actually demolish that creep wave off a little bit more. They're pulled up a little bit further. Replica on top of the Alchemist. Radiance was turned off, it's not going to work there, but Baby Knight's already blinked himself up there, got himself one on the back of the ulti, cut and paste held him in place for the moment. Now the Radiance turns on, pushing Puppey back. A big Ravage does come off, we'll hold them off, we'll hold them in that mid tower for just a moment, while SF gets hunted down there by Storm Spirit on the backside. Windrunner getting VS swapped up there, Lich ulti did bounce off as well. Double kill for Ducky. As in come Paj back in towards the mid lane, ultis himself up a little bit further. Both Paj and Kurukai both still alive. So if they want to push their advantage, if they want to try and hold off this mid, they can do so. Clockwork Goblin still a very, very big thorn in their side, as well as Alchemist. Baby Knight, though, will be 50 seconds away before he'll actually rejoin the mix. Tier 3 tower now being pressured. There is a glint possible, but they're probably waiting out. Creep wave comes off. There's the glint, realizing the creep wave is going to get completely smashed. Kurukai still there on the front lines. They need more support. Tier 3, they can't lose their racks. Morphling waves on the top as well. Storm Spirit over the top two. They bring down Miguel. Focusing on the support heroes first. Kurukai now tries to get himself out. Clockwork Goblin ulties himself in. Manages to she bring out the cogs just to hold him in place. CM's also there. Miracle. Storm Spirit ulties over the top. Try and push back Ducky. As Morphling manages to actually live himself through this one. Sony Ace does bring down CM. Storm Spirit coming back in again. Clockwork Goblin is the one that's being replicated. Paj getting stunned there. Alchemist there. Tidehunter being caught now inside the cogs. Storm Spirit doing the damage from the side here. Cut and paste doing all the damage as Clockwork Goblin on the front lines. You just can't kill him at the moment. And now the Radiance Burn coming off Windrunner. He's going to try and hold Sony Ace back, but Sony Ace really not dying at all. Just ribbing into Paj, force-staffing into the main base, trying to save himself out from a horrible, horrible death. Morphling, Kurukai now replicates back onto us the Clockwork Goblin, trying to actually get down any... There's still mid-racks are still up. I don't know how. Ethereal Blade is up. Ducky is the first one. They burst damage down. Sony Ace has also been pulled back in again. He goes down, but the Agassi model will keep him alive. They have got to kill him once again. They can't let him live through this one, but Clockwork Goblin comes in. Stunner goes on top of Asin, force-staffing himself up a little bit higher. Sony Ace getting a lot of radiance damage then. Manages to finish him off. That will be enough to finish him off, but in comes Baby Knight. Blink in one hit. Now wants Kurukai. Razor over the top. Kurukai waving himself up towards, well, what is safety. A little bit higher up in towards zone neutrals. Buy back instantly from Storm Spirit. Smoker Deceiver's up. They're going to look for initiation here. They're pulling cut and paste back again. The hat doesn't have his Blade Malice still currently on cooldown. Cogs go off. Splash goes off. Miracle has to hold him in place. Frost goes off. In comes Paj. Holding over the top. Got to pull down the pop. And SF is currently fighting off with Kurukai in the high ground. While still the Blade Mal now manages to come off cooldown. Turns around to fight. Gets Frost coned off. And will actually be brought down. Back down towards the bottom lane. Kurukai waves himself out of trouble. Baby Knight and VS forced back here. 34 for 27. Action happening all around the map here. The massively important thing here for GGnet is the fact they did not lose that mid-racks. They survive. They survive the Aegis Immortal attack. They cannot allow BP to get that Aegis again, though. Shadow Fiend, Eaglehorn, BKB, Blink Dagger. Great to see that Ethereal Blade actually up onto a Morphling too. We saw how much burst damage that did. Kurukai. His big, important key role right now is to make sure he makes these fights 5v4. Burst damage down one straight off the cuff. Cost you next to no man to do so. So a lot of pressure on top of all these big carry heroes. Storm Spirit, BKB, and still Mithril Hammer hasn't changed anything in the last couple of minutes, but due to the buybacks, I think we've seen 2 from him for this entire game so far. Morphling, look at that morph as well. 3 points in strength, 140 to Agi. And he still has 1300 HP. Farming up as fast as they can. Roshan should be back up again in probably about maybe 5-10 minutes. Getting whatever income in they can. Haystreet on the top lane. Will be bottled up by Storm Spirit. Going to look for more initiation. Replicate now coming off from Morphling. It's using it to have a bit of a wander around, see if he can catch anybody out. Blink now coming in from Baby Knight. Storm Spirit, it will look like the real one considering how much damage he's actually taking. Alchemist now coming over the top. No spells actually going off, so they know it's got to be a replicate. Just scanning around, seeing that SF, well, it did move from that top in towards the middle. Decides to go back up. Could be a mistake if Windrunner and Tide. Who else is there in support? No, Lich, Alchemist, both heading up towards top lane. Clockwork Goblin also hanging around, up with a pipe now. So much money for that Clockwork Goblin. At this point, we'll also check see our CSs. Sony Ace, 226 for 21, which counts a lot more with the Goblin's Greed. 202 for 17. Also note here, Hyperstone on top of Sony Ace. He is on his way to getting that Assault Cuirass up. Butterfly completed for Baby Knight as well. Over towards the GGnet side. Kurukai, most farmed hero on the map. 239 for 13, 8 kills, 3 deaths, 9 assists. Looks like we're about to see a little bit of action pop off here. Morphling, trying to do whatever damage he can. Kurukai gets swapped back in again. Strength morphing, it won't be enough. There's too much burst damage that does come out. 86 seconds on the clock. Start them now, count them down. How much damage can BP do in that time? They will push through this mid. They will definitely push through this mid. Baby Knight's trying to bring the rest of Creep Wave with him. The other lanes will take care of themselves. Alchemist on the front lines. Is there money for a buyback? Kurukai, no, there's not. Only 752 in the bank. He needs an extra, well, basically 1,200 gold to actually buy back. Ward up towards the high ground. They want to keep perfect vision off here. Tidehunter, they can't do anything. The blink is there. Power shot over the top. Rax is being damaged. Glyph possibly on cooldown. Rax actually getting regened up at the moment. Baby Knight's there. Melee Rax goes down. Will they get the range as well? Power shot goes over once again. 35 seconds left on the clock. Mid-Rax is down. Good damage here from BP. Just one hero. One hero was all it took. Paz trying to slow them down however he possibly can. Roar's going off. Still no blinking from Tidehunter with a Ravage. Glyph pops off. 20 seconds to go. Pull coming off here from Paz. They're just trying to slow this down as long as they can. Do whatever damage they can. Force the Sentinel side to whatever, and take whatever damage they can, but it's not going to help. Piper's already popped off. Mini Rax on bottom is gone. Range Rax on bottom will follow. Morphling, 4 seconds. Wow, he claims 66 seconds on the clock. How much damage can you do in 1 minute? BP just proved that. Mid Rax and bottom Rax. And now they're also going to claim Roshan. 43 minutes, 24 seconds. This is what happens when you have so much invested at this point in the game in big carry heroes. They couldn't defend. Roshan, look at that negative. Negative 17.5 on top of him. Roshan goes down. Assault Cuirass is completed. Aegis Immortal is on top of Shadow Fiend this time around. This will be the push to finish all pushes here from BP. This is a best of 3, however. So there's only our first game coming into the semi-final of the GosuCup. Heading up towards the Tier 2 tower now. GGnet. They thought this was going to be easy for them. BP not massively in form. But they're definitely showing they've still got the skills to pay the bills. Up towards the top. Blink goes down. Big Ravage goes off. SF though. Big BKB ulti, but it's not going to matter. Soul Spirit doing the damage from the side. Baby Knight gets down. Miracle. They've lost a support hero. Soul Spirit now getting himself away from Baby Knight as fast as he possibly can. Clockwork Goblin ulti's in. They've managed to actually catch Asnoff from the side. Blade Mail up on top. They can't do any more damage to him. Puppy takes a fall. They've already lost 2 for the Scourge on a single casualty here for the Sentinel side. And way too easy here. GG call comes out. Puppy leaves the game already. There goes your Tier 3, there goes your Rax, and there goes your game. Here's your stat screen at the end as well. 244 for 13 is what Kurukai got, but the big man of the battle of the match. 216 for 17 for Baby Knight. Sony A's as well, very strong again. Vanguard, Assault Cuirass, Radiance, Diffusal, Treads and Wander. 256 for 21. Massive play there from BP. Will GGnet be able to bring it back in the second game? That is definitely a question we're going to have to ask the players after we're actually done. But guys, seriously, awesome game 1. We've got game 2 coming up, and game 3 will also possibly be a massive possibility of GGnet managed to come back in our second game. That is what we're going to find out. So guys, stick around. We'll be back with more DOTA action here for the GosuCup semi-final actions. Myself, Tobi Wan, going to be walking you through it. In this case, we're running through it. We are at an awesome pace tonight. Gotta love it. We had 41 and 27 kills then in the space of 45 minutes. Action-packed games. Gotta love it. This is DOTA's greatest, guys. So we'll be back in just a moment. Catch you then.